Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Teddy Atlas, who of course is training Timothy Bradley for his fight coming up on November 7th against Brandon Rios in Las Vegas, Nevada. Teddy, are you happy now that you said yes and you're actually back in the swing of things?
I'll let you know late in the night of November 7th how happy I am. All that matters is we accomplish what we have to accomplish, is to win the fight. That's all that matters. Do I feel good about where we are right now? Yeah. I have a good. Listen, I wasn't coming back to this end of the business. I have a pretty damn good gig doing what you do with the microphone with ESPN, who's been very good to me, and the people out there that have been very good to me and tolerated me for 18 years, to allow me to come into their living rooms. This with the microphone has the advantages that nobody could talk back to you, and you don't have to worry about who wins. I'm back in the end of it where I have to be very concerned about who wins. I have to be responsible for another person again, and that's a serious responsibility. So until it's over, until it's done, until it's successful, I don't know how I feel, except that I wasn't coming back. What I do know is I wasn't coming back into this end of it if I wasn't coming back with a decent human being. That wasn't happening. I don't give a damn about what his record was on paper and what his accomplishments in the ring were, and they've been very good. He had to be a decent human being, and that's why at the end of the day, why I was able to say yes. And I'm happy with finding out that, yeah, I was right. I did come back with a good human being, with a person who reminded me that, yeah, to your question, I could enjoy this again, which I didn't think I could anymore. A person that I was happy being around every day. And I credit him for that. That he's that kind of person, and that's why I came back. And so as far as how a trainer can be comfortable when in a very uncomfortable business and a very uncomfortable task and job and responsibility, I'm as comfortable as I can be that we've done what we needed to do up to this point. Timothy's shown his intellect to be really, it's too cliche sometimes. You know, guys say, oh, this guy's smart, this guy's this guy's the greatest. They throw stuff all over the place just to throw it. But he's smart. He really is. And it's allowed me to be able to teach the things and show the things I needed to, and for it to actually catch on, and for it actually to get to where it needed to get to because of his intelligence and his willingness to say, hey, even with all my accomplishments, there's some things that I need to learn and need to change. And being able to put his ego on the side and be able to say, yeah, I want to learn those things. I want to change those things. You can't force a guy to learn. So when he called me, you know, I figured that he was open. Obviously, he's calling me. But like I said, I saw firsthand of it. I saw proof of it every day. His eagerness to learn, his willingness to learn. More than that, his almost like a ferocity to see what else he can learn, and like I said, his intelligence to understand exactly what you were pointing out to him and why.
Did you have at all any feelings of reservation, any mixed feelings, even when you're in it, like just going into this again in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't come in right away.
So you told him no, like what, 5 times?
No, I didn't. I mean, I just didn't know if I was going to say yes, that's all. I mean, the last fight I trained before this was years ago, Alexander Povetkin, the Russian heavyweight.
You got a belt with him.
Yeah, we won the heavyweight title. And I said no to them 3 times, to be honest, before I wound up saying yes. But no, it was.
It's something that once you get into it, you don't ever forget, right? It's like you didn't miss a step.
You know what? Yeah, it's not that. I mean, riding a bike, all that stuff. Again, cliches. But hey, if you're a trainer, you're a trainer. If you know what you know, you know what you know. You know, I'm not that old where I'm forgetting what I'm having for breakfast yet. You know, not quite. So, I mean, that wasn't my concern. That was never my reservation. That was never my what was pulling me back and making it was other things, and level of trust, to be honest. You know, with Povetkin, we accomplished what we want to accomplish. We won the heavyweight title, but then they dishonored their word. At the end, the agreement was during the time that I make my living, take care of my family with ESPN, and I have a commitment to them. They've been good to me, and the agreement was, and they of course abided by it for 2.5 years, was that while I was working during the 8 months I worked for ESPN, Friday Night Fights at the time, they would come to the States and we would train. And when I wasn't working, I thought it was fair. I would go to Russia and train. I didn't love going to Russia to train. It was a little chilly over there.
Kind of cold, I hear.
A little bit. and they didn't love coming over here, to be honest. But it worked, and we kept our word. But as soon as we won the title, all of a sudden they informed me that that agreement would change, and I don't think things are supposed to work that way. So that chased me away from the sport. And so it was a matter of trusting to come back to the sport because of things like that.
It sounds kind of like a breakup, like in a relationship. Like, you get a bad breakup, you don't really trust anybody anymore, you're kind of cautious getting everything in 100% of...
You're committing everything to that person.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a partnership, there's a bond. I mean, you're responsible for their livelihood, for their career. You're responsible for their health. I mean, you are. It's a big responsibility. You shouldn't take it lightly. And when you take that responsibility, the thing that scared me, that I had a fear, I'm not afraid to use the word. I still face what I got to face. That's all that matters. But if a person can't say I'm afraid of something, then they can't face it either, because they don't know that they're ready. They're not ready to face it. They just maybe find a way to ignore it or find a way to give into it because they're not prepared to face it. They're not prepared to take the steps that have to be taken. I mean, first you got to be aware of what's in front of you and what those feelings are and what those dangers are and how it's going to come to you. I knew one of my fears was when I commit to this and I come back to it, that in order to be successful as a teacher, I'm a pretty good teacher, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't have the trust of the person you're teaching. And so what do? You get their trust. And once you get their trust, that's where the pressure comes. That's where the fear for me. That's where I'll tell you the truth, the dread almost, because once you get them to trust you, you better live up to that trust.
Yeah, it's all on you at that point.
Well, if you care about people, and you care about keeping your word, you care about those responsibilities the way I think people are supposed to care. Yeah, you get them to buy in, you get them to believe, and then you better make good on it. You better not fail them. And that's the thing I was afraid of feeling again, was every day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, just the feeling, the weight, the burden, like humidity, you feel like humidity in the air. It's there every day. Did I do it right? Does he have his strength? He's got his conditioning, but does he have his strength? Is he learning the technique? Is he mentally right? Is he emotionally right? Is he making weight? While he's making weight, is he keeping his strength? Is he keeping his energy? And is he going to be able to take this and actually, off a 7-week camp, be able to implement it in a fight with a very tough opponent, a very, very tough opponent? And so the answer better be yes. Because, again, you got what you asked for. You got them to trust you. You got them to buy in. You got to listen to you every freaking day in a very difficult place, in a dangerous place, to trust you. You better be right. And there's a heaviness to that, and there is. And it's every day for 7 weeks. And that's why I don't say yes so fast. But I gotta say, there's, with the feeling of that every day, there's also been the feeling that I was right to say yes, because I enjoy being around this person. and because he appreciates everything, and he reminded me why being a trainer meant something, and that it could be fun again in here, and it could be okay again in here, and I forgot that could happen.